3 premier tournaments, 12 regions, participants from over 30 countries, and a full week of action for winning $900,000. Welcome to the review of Free Fire Continental Series. मैं हूं आरबी और आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं FF ऑब्जर्वर पर, जहां मैं ऐसे ही e-sports रिलेटेड कंटेंट डालता रहता हूं। अगर आपको ऐसे ही कंटेंट देखना है देन प्लीज़ डू कंसिडर सब्सक्राइबिंग, आई रियली अप्रिशिएट इट। अब मुझे पता है कि FFCS का फाइनल्स तो लास्ट संडे था और वीडियो काफ़ी लेट आ रही है, बट आई जस्ट डिडंट वांट टू मेक समथिंग कि बस हाँ एक बार देख लिया और हो गया। आई वांटेड टू मेक समथिंग कि अगर आज से कोई 6 महीने बाद भी इस वीडियो को देखे तो उसे रिलेवेंट लगे और वो इसे एंजॉय कर सके। इसलिए काफ़ी रिसर्च और मेहनत के बाद मैंने ये रिव्यू तैयार किया है। आई होप यू गाइज एंजॉय। साथ ही मैंने एक न्यू सीरीज़ पर भी काम करा है जिसके प्लेलिस्ट के लिंक मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन और आई बटन साथ ही साथ एंड स्क्रीन पर भी डाल दूंगा। इस वीडियो को देखने के बाद उस सीरीज़ को चेकआउट करना ना भूलें। अगर रिस्पॉन्स अच्छा आता है तो मैं सीरीज़ को कंप्लीट ज़रूर करूँगा और साथ ही फ्यूचर में भी ऐसी वीडियोस बनाने की कोशिश करूँगा। नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट आवर रिव्यू फ्रॉम FFCS अमेरिकाज रीजन। FFCS अमेरिकाज में 2 रीजन ने हिस्सा लिया था, ब्राज़ील और LATM, जहाँ से 4 टीम्स को डायरेक्ट एंट्री मिली थी फाइनल में और 6 टीम्स फ्रॉम बोथ रीजन पार्टिसिपेटेड इन FFCS प्लेन्स फॉर द रिमेनिंग 4 स्लॉट्स। प्लेन्स में जिन 4 टीम ने क्वालिफाई करा था वो भी ब्राज़ील से ही थी, टेकिंग द टैली ऑफ ब्राज़ीलियन टीम्स इन फाइनल्स टू 8। अब जब आपकी 2/3 लॉबी किसी एक कंट्री से हो तो ऑब्वियसली वो पूरे सर्वर पर छाए रहेंगे और ऐसा ही हुआ। ऑल द पोडियम फिनिशेस वेंट टू द ब्राज़ीलियन सर्वर। टीम लिक्विड, सैंटोस एंड ESPORTS took first, second and third position respectively. In fact, 7 out of 8 teams made it to the top 8 और आखिरी टीम जो टॉप 8 में नहीं पहुंच पाई थी उसने भी 9th पर फिनिश किया था। इससे हम कह सकते हैं कि अगर FFCS अमेरिकाज का नेम चेंज करके FFCS ब्राज़ील भी रख देते तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। All in all, but it was not only Brazil. Total 102 players participated in the competition from 12 different countries, highest out of any region. जहाँ पे obviously Brazil was the largest contributor, 55 out of 102, contributing almost 54% of the player share, and Panama, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua contributing around 1% each. If you're willing to put aside the fact that it was all Brazil, then the tournament was a good watch, as there was a ferocious rivalry going on between Team Liquid, the eventual winners, and the runner-ups, Santos. Both the teams had a slow start but ended up with same points towards the end of the tournament. But as Liquid had more placement points, they were declared the winners. The second runner-ups, ESPORTS, put up a very good fight in game number 1 and 2 and were able to win 2 consecutive booyahs, but were thrashed in the subsequent round number 3, 4 and 6. Aside from the Brazilian region, Team Ignis and Ace from LATM were able to put up some resistance in game number 1 and 2 respectively, where they managed to reach top 5. But after that, they just kept getting eliminated in the bottom half, and Ignis ended their run at 10th position while Ace finished the tournament at 12th position. Now to summarize this region, I would like to give it a rating of 4 out of 5 as nothing was done by the officials to keep in check the dominance of Brazilian server. Now just to clarify, I have nothing against Brazilian teams dominating in games. I'm just pointing out towards the official who could have gone with a different qualifying method so that LATM could have got a little more representation. Now let's talk about the EMEA region. 3 servers participated in this region: Europe, CIS and MENA. It was the only region which had teams from 2 different continents, Europe and Africa. 2 teams from each server were directly invited to the finals, whereas the next best 4 teams were invited in play-ins to compete for the 6 remaining slots. The qualifying method for CIS and Europe region was as easy as it sounds, whereas MENA decided to make it a little bit more tricky by dividing the play-in slots in their Arab League and Arab Series. In play-ins, all 4 teams from CIS region qualified, whereas only 1 team from Europe and MENA were able to move ahead. In the finals, CIS region dominated the competition as all the podium finishes were taken by them, to be specific, Russian teams. Spurnaya CHR, the runner-ups of Free Fire World Series 2019, were finally able to take home the crown, whereas Silence and Stay Away finished at runner-ups and second runner-up position respectively. Except for 1 player in Silence, all the members in these 3 teams are from Russia. MENA server also performed well as 2 out of their 3 teams finished in top 5. but it was a no-show for the European server, as all the three teams finished in the bottom half of the table. European fans were very disappointed by the poor performance of their regional champions, Bastamundos, who were heavy favourites to win this tournament as they won the regional competition after a very dominant performance. Now to summarize, I think this region deserves a rating of 4.5 out of 5 as the matches were very entertaining and I was able to enjoy the tournament a little bit more due to the presence of English casters. I've provided the link in the description if any one of you wish to watch the tournament. Now before we move on to our last region, Asia, let's take a look towards the player stats. A total of 83 players from more than 12 countries participated in this tournament. What an irony! Maximum numbers of nations participating, whereas least number of players participating in the same tournament. Where Portugal contributed maximum towards the player share, around 24%, whereas Belarus, Belgium and Germany only contributed about 1% each. Now let's move on to our final region, Free Fire Continental Series, Asia. A total of 7 servers participated in this region, maximum out of any region. I've already talked about the qualification in this region in my previous video, but to summarize it in 30 seconds, all the regional champions from the 7 servers were directly invited to the finals, whereas runner-ups and second runner-ups from all the servers except from Taiwan and Pakistan, from where only runner-ups were invited to the plains. In plains, all the 12 teams competed for the remaining 5 slots. A total of 89 players took part in this competition, where Indonesia, Thailand and Vietnam contributed around 17% and Pakistan and Taiwan only contributed around 9%. It's percent, not person. I've made a separate video on every team which took part in the regional finals of this region. I've already uploaded about 1/3 of the teams, and if I get a good response, then I'll try to complete the series as soon as possible. Please complete 40 likes and 100 views on each of the videos in about 24 hours. But since this is a review video, let me summarize the tournament. Thailand server dominated this tournament. Keeping aside ESPORTS, who were the eventual winners of this tournament, who were from Thailand, all the 3 teams which took part from Thailand finished in top 5 position. Teams from Indonesian server were the second best performer in this tournament as they were able to rack up 50% of the booyah, 2 for RRQ Hades and 1 for EVOS Esports Indonesia. Because of the 2 booyahs, RRQ Hades managed to rack up a podium finish as they finished the tournament as second runner-ups. Knights as Taiwan representatives had a horrible day, whereas Indian and Malaysian representatives had a decent tournament. Malaysian team, being the underdog, definitely outshined their Indian counterparts, whereas the debuting server Pakistan also had a good impact. And as for Vietnamese team, they did not live up to the expectations of their server. Just like Free Fire Asia Invitational 2019, it was an exhibition for Thailand and Indonesia, whereas other teams went there to rack up some experience. And this is all I had for you all folks in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you do like this one, then please do like and comment. And if this is the first time you've ever been on my channel, then please do consider subscribing. I'll really appreciate it. Until then, next time. Bye.